Hi, everyone. It's Rosie Bellis with my good friend and brand partner, Andy. Andy's getting ready, and as he is, let me just refresh everyone by Andy, I don't know if you read my post, but I compared you to the Teddy Roosevelt quote of the man in the arena. And I said, no, because you have done it all. It would either be that or Frank Sinatra, so I went with Teddy Roosevelt. And, I mean it as a sincere compliment that you know the thrill of victory and you've tasted defeat and you never let it stop you.
No, that's for sure.
I'm deeply grateful. Thank you. And I just want to do a little preview of what we're going to do. All right. Three major areas. We're going to talk about financial education, hopefully with your family. We're going to talk about systems and how they create wealth. And then just as a teaser, all right, how you took control of your health maybe a couple years ago. And it's the gateway to wellness that we'll talk about. Okay.
All right.
Is that fair? And I want to start with a joke because I was watching your other live earlier, and we always said, I'm a retired educator. The one who missed the meeting, we'd make them president.
Well, they knew they were smart enough to make me only vice president. That I really.
Yeah. So tell everyone what you did because it shows what a family man you are.
Oh, thank you. Well, my kids were introduced to elementary school just last year. They're 5, right. 8, 11, and 13. They were being homeschooled, right. But we just put them in, I just put them in elementary school. And, I want them to know that I care. I want to be a part of it. I want to know what's going on. And so I was approached to join the PTA, and I missed the meeting. And no, I really did miss the meeting, but they did nominate me as executive vice president. So they voted, and they made me executive vice president of a fairly large school here in Brea in Orange County. And so, but I'm happy. I'm happy to be there. As a matter of fact, today we decided that I'm going to do a live broadcast once a month to keep people up to date of what's going on with
Excellent.
the PTA and what events they have coming up. So
excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to tell my daughter about it when
Excellent.
she's going to join me as a co-host.
Oh, wonderful. So I know Ray, I know Bo, and I know Brett, right?
Yeah, and then there's Kelly.
Kelly? Yeah. So that's 4.
Yep.
I'm missing
my
one.
My son Kelly.
Kelly.
Courtney,
right.
who's my
Courtney.
oldest.
Yeah, well, God bless. I mean, and that's how we should start with financial education. In New Jersey, NJ 1414 for Jersey, is requiring all schools to teach financial literacy. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Teach, requiring it and doing it is one thing, but could you just share doing that? I know you are, because you've been a maven in business. I mean, you started as a magician, Andini the magician, right? And
wow, you have been watching me.
Yeah, and you went all the way up to 5 employees to 500, and then the next one was 0 to hero. So how do you elicit and bring in your family, Andy?
Well, I actually first got to start with that. I was a police officer for 21 years, and as most cops, we tend to have a little bit of an ego. Much like firemen, just to tell you the truth. So I don't want to just leave it at policemen. Right. And because you have to have a little bit. There's no way you could do that job without having confidence in yourself and your abilities, and maybe think a little bit about yourself to go into my first call was a fight between 2 rival bank motorcycle gangs, one called the Hells Angels and the other one called the Mongols. That was my very first call as a 22-year-old police officer that weighed 175 pounds. And I walked into that bar thinking I was going to stop this fight. And so without that, you won't make it very far in law enforcement. So the reason I brought that up is because when it came time for me to become an entrepreneur, which happened again by accident, I had a strong interest in training dogs and police dogs and people. And somebody asked, can I pay you to help me with my dog? Because I'm having trouble. I know that you seem to have this knack for training dogs. And so they gave me a check. I trained their dog. And next thing you know, I'm training dogs all over the world and have television shows and that kind of stuff. And that ego almost cost me everything, because I thought because I was a cop that I could run a business too. And run marketing and do a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm here to tell you that running a business is nothing like anything else you've probably done in your life. There's so much more to it than just doing the thing that you love. because, you know, if you want to be a, I don't know, run a restaurant, if you want to do anything, that love gets you so far, but you spend only about 10% of your time doing the thing you love, and you spend 90% of the time doing things that you don't love necessarily, and maybe have no understanding or education on how to do it and how to talk to people in a way that forwards your business and that kind of stuff. So
Right.
Business education, financial education, marketing education, all these things I went into business and had no knowledge of. So I can tell you for a fact that if I had the financial education, the business education I'm getting with Overcome Nation, what happens to be the team that we're on, I wouldn't have nearly lost everything with a security company that had 500 employees and made some very, very big mistakes in hiring, in structuring management, in understanding that you have to be a leader, more than just telling people what to do. That's not being a leader. Being a leader means a lot of things. It means leading by example. It means having rules in place, having a policy, having a whole lot of things in place that I was not prepared for in business. So having this education is huge.
Yeah, talk about, while we're on that, systems, because I think at one point you talked about going from 5 to 500, and some systems, simple as child support, or unemployment forms, or overtime, right? I mean, I know you're going back. I had a small business too, and I was the system. But what systems would have helped you when you went big? You went international, actually.
Yeah, every system would have been helpful. Systems are the end all be all of a successful business. That is just really it. You have to have a system of doing everything, a system of marketing on social media, a system of how to hire people, how to run a job, job being in the security business. Hey, we need 2 security guards to go to a school that's under construction. We need 2 patrol cars. We need one of them to at least one of them to have a dog. For patrol purposes, another one for other purposes, that kind of stuff. And then what does that look like? This is the system for doing that, and being able to have that, because as a entrepreneur, and I was the sole owner of and I've always been the sole owner of all my businesses. You cannot be everywhere, especially when you begin to get employees. Right. And you are going to be sick, and you may even get so sick that you have to be in the hospital. And without a system in place, it will die. The company will die. And that's kind of what happened with me. I could not be at at Coachella Fest and Stagecoach, which are huge events here in Southern California for music. And I had hundreds of employees there in the desert, and I was running something else. I was out of the country, and It completely fell apart. Why? Because I didn't have a system in place that they could follow and count on, and just simply count on to make sure that everything was running smoothly. And so without that system in place, you will die. The business will die. There's no doubt about it.
Well, and we're taught, and you, in your verification of it, you build the person builds the system.
Yep.
But systems create wealth, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Right. And we're learning that in Overcome Nation, which is part of ASEO, right?
Yep.
And so what systems do we enact with ASEO while we're on it? I mean, we leverage a global distribution center, don't we?
Yep. Yep. It's just right back here. You can't see the whole thing, but you can see part of it.
Yeah. No. That's cool.
We got hit, this being the brand partner. Then we have Overcome Nation. And on the other end, we have ASEO, which is written in a square. And this is a system. This is a very small portion of the system, right? We get a brand partner. We introduce them into the business school, which is an Overcome Nation. Overcome Nation teaches them the verbiage to be able to use to talk to somebody about the business. It talks about how to talk about, I talk about how to talk about the products and that type of thing, and what's important to know about the products, to understand how important it is to have a patented formulation like CBD1. And many of the other our projects have a formulation that is guarded information, but that patent on the CBD1 is one part of that, of understanding why that's important, understanding about liposome technology and how to talk about that. the more important part about talking about the company, understanding that Viseo is the distribution company and the fulfillment center, and being able to explain that to somebody, how important that is, that we as brand partners and me as a business owner that understands what it's like to be the fulfillment company. I do not want to be the fulfillment company. I no longer want to be in charge of the fulfillment of orders and that kind of stuff.
That's right.
It is a pain in the derriere.
In the pocketbook. That's right. Well, no warehouse, no inventory, no employees, don't have to worry about doing payroll. And we do it from our phone, right? We do it right from our phone. That's right.
Understand we have an app that has a system, right? The system of being able to message somebody a video that will explain everything about the liposome technology, for instance, or a talk that Rick Gutman may have given in Las Vegas, just a few months ago. That's a system in our phone to how to use the website, how to use your URL to give to people, so that when they sign up, you actually get them onto your team. All of these systems are in place to make our life easier as a brand partner. Viseo has done the work as the fulfillment center, in creating all of those systems. The payout system, understanding how the payout, takes place. The 8 different ways to be able to be paid. Understanding that and being able to explain that to somebody. I can tell you right now that that's my weakness. I'm learning about it. I'm diving into Overcome Nation. Thank God that system is there that will teach me about that education, because I am not fluent in that part of our.
No. Well, you're doing just great. And I don't know if you saw this, but I said Andy has his own cash flow quadrant. Look at this.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, because you knew forever about being a W-2 as an officer and a 1099, right?
Yep, for sure.
And then I think around 2017, you enjoyed making money while you slept, right?
Yeah, it's the best.
And so how did that happen? Because I think you switched to a digital platform, did you not?
Yes. I have a digital platform I use. It's called Kajabi. And Kajabi works while I'm sleeping, and it's on the internet. And so people can find it. They opt in and they pay for it. It's a monthly subscription. And every month, I have so many people in there now that almost every day I get paid something from Kajabi, and that's pretty cool. And so, and that is something that just runs automatically, and that's a great place to be, especially since I sleep more now. I used to only sleep 2 to 3 hours a night before I started taking Viseo's products. Now I sleep 6 to 8 hours, so I make more money while I'm sleeping than I did before.
Right, but with Viseo, we can also make money while we sleep, because when we build our distribution by a system of duplication, and we take the product, we portion it out, and teach people to do that. As our volume builds, we also make money while we sleep over time, right?
Right. I was just looking at my phone, and I think this week I've made money every day. I'm just looking at all the people that have
from Viseo, right?
You may not be, you probably can't see it, but on my, I get notifications on my text message from Viseo's system that they've created, that anytime somebody orders product or as a brand partner, has somebody opt in as a brand partner, it tells me on a text message that I'm, creating wealth as I'm sitting here.
And you're having cash flow, and cash flow is at the heart of financial education, is what we started with, cash flow, right?
Yep. So, I had 2 on Saturday, one at 9:35 a.m. and one at 11:50 a.m. And that's passive income that I make while I'm doing other stuff. I think I was either fishing or playing with the kids on Saturday. I was doing something, but it was probably fishing.
But your kids watch you do this, right? Do they ever ask you any questions about what you do or how you do it or anything like that?
All the time, and one of the things that it shouldn't surprise me, but every so often it will surprise me, that they will say something. And I could have sworn they were not even in the room, or maybe I thought they had their headphones on, and yet they were listening. That's one thing, being a parent, you learn that they're watching you all the time. And so you got to be very careful about what you say and what you do, and you want to set a good example. I talked the other day about being a mentor to people, and just know you are, if you're a parent, you're a mentor to your children, whether you like it or not, positive and negative. And so I try to be careful. I'm very aware that they look like they're watching television, but they're actually listening to me.
They watch everything.
Yeah, because I forgot what it was. I said something had to do with health or something like that, and they go, "Oh, Dad, well, you better get on some of your products." And they said, "Yeah." I forgot who it was. Whatever smart Alex said that, but
No, that's
yeah,
great.
but they're highly aware. They were at an event in San Diego with me. We were on vacation, and I went and spoke at an event in San Diego. And Rick Gutman showed up, and he was speaking. And I can't remember again which one of them said it, but they were listening to what he had to say. And we all took a picture together.
Right.
Rick, our mentor in Overcome Nation, is a fantastic individual that I'm happy to be able to call him a friend.
Absolutely.
And I'm not ashamed to call him a mentor, even though he's younger than I am. I love what he has to say and what he means for his team.
He pours into us. And I think one thing you also said that we get from Overcome Nation is at one point in your life, you knew you needed support. You knew it. And you started a mastermind group or something to get that support, right?
Yep.
But we get that support in Overcome Nation.
Yeah, this is a huge mastermind group.
Absolutely.
If you have a question about something or need something, we have our own little private, and I'm not sure if you and with the people that you're surrounded with, but we have a Southern California group messaging where we type in there every so often, hey, does anybody have an event coming up? Because I have a couple brand partners that want to come to an event. And that is so great to have that support that I feel comfortable. And let me preface one other thing before I get into this, because it won't make sense if I don't. I was with another CBD company before this called HempWorks, where this was not this family environment, this support was not the same. And so I would not necessarily have trusted sending my brand partner who was in, say, Tennessee to somebody in HempWorks, let's say, that was in Tennessee, because we did not have a relationship. There was nothing ever built of a family environment like with Overcome Nation. But in Overcome Nation, I would have no problem sending anybody, no matter where they are on the planet, to an event somewhere else with another member of Overcome Nation, because I would have faith and trust that they would treat them right, that they would talk to them correctly and say, okay, if you're ready to join, get a hold of Andy and go ahead and find out how you can join with him. I don't have any doubt. I would never do that to anybody, and I feel confident that none of my family members in Overcome Nation would do that.
Excellent. And, again, thank you. We are examples of that right now. Yeah. You're in Bray, California. Yep. I'm in Jersey. Anything left and right, and anyone in your area, reach out to Andy. There's no issue. We all support each other, and I'm as confident and I'm grateful that you carved out the time. So thank you very much, and I'm with you all the way. And that's because we have great people that are attracted to Viseo, and you've joined in being part of the mission to bless at least 1 million lives, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go 2 million.
Okay. All right. So along the way, we talked about your businesses, and you've mentioned that you played football. I think you did ice hockey for the police department. You've had a lot of concussions, crashes, etc. Right? You smile, and then you had a little challenge. So then you found a solution, right? Yep. That's where CBD came in, right? So tell us about your experience before and now with CBD.
Yeah, so I was in a lot of pain and discomfort because of all those things you mentioned. And, as a law enforcement officer, you see things and you are involved in things that you can't save everybody's life as much as you try. People die as you're talking to them. And some of them are small children, babies. And there's people that I've had somebody just commit suicide while I was standing there talking to them, only 15 feet away. And so those things begin to affect you. And so only about 2 years ago, I was a mess. Not that I'm not a mess now, but I was physically and mentally a mess, and was taking a lot of pharmaceuticals. I was taking Advil, Tylenol, Motrin, probably drinking a lot of alcohol, a lot of coffee. Right, self-medication is not uncommon with police officers and firemen. It's fairly, I would say, common, and so. It wasn't until I got cancer, though. Cancer was the thing that motivated me to make a change and start looking for avenues of wellness that I was looking to healthcare for. Right, I was hoping healthcare would make me well, but healthcare really, as far as my situation is concerned, they were only just kind of helping me limp along life, is what I like to say, and really wasn't helping with becoming well. I wanted to become well at this point. It took cancer to knock me in the head and say, you should do things differently. So that's when I decided to try CBD. Up to that point, I thought CBD was an illegal narcotic that I didn't want to put in my body. I thought I might get arrested, and my police friends would think I was nuts. But a friend of mine approached me with it and showed me some videos and gave me some information. And I learned that it wasn't, that it was actually, hemp. And as a matter of fact, there's even versions out there that have very little THC at the time. Viseo had not come out with their product where they had no THC. So at the time, it was just a very small amount. And so I started taking it, and it changed my life. CBD has been fantastic. I loved it so much. But I was intrigued as to how it seemingly helped me with so many different things in my life that I had to find out more about it. With that knowledge that I gained through research, following all the heavy hitters in the industry, and from them, I wrote a book, became a #1 best-selling author, which is another system of twice. I've been a 9-time international #1 best-selling author, and that is a system of marketing, right? Learning that you need to have a best-selling book if you're going to get anywhere on television, if you're going to get recognized. That's what I'm looking for. Recognized as an authority. Write a book. That will happen. And using that as a marketing tool, but it did allow me to learn a lot, to be able to speak on stage to doctors and that kind of stuff. But it wasn't until Viseo came out with their product only about whatever that was, 6 or 7 months ago, that I found a solution for the other CBD not being bioavailable, that people weren't absorbing it, right? That it wasn't. It didn't taste good to people, the old product. And so Viseo comes out with this product that has liposome technology. It's patented. It has partnering ingredients that help us absorb it, help us, use it more beneficially. And it just turns out it's a great product. The cream is amazing. The cream is just the end all be all of feeling great. I'm trying to stay away from healing because we can't say that it heals anything. We can't say it cures anything. The FDA makes it so that we can't say that. But I can tell you that it really is the only thing I've changed in my life, and I've been on the path of wellness ever since. I now sleep better. I take other the dietary supplements like Core Complete and Renew and Eternal that just has now just taken me even further with my wellness. I feel great. I'm off all my pharmaceuticals. As far as the last MRI I took, it says that I'm cancer free.
Great. How about pre-diabetic? Were you pre-diabetic?
Pre-diabetic. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. I don't take any medication. I don't take any Advil, Tylenol, Motrin. I haven't been sick with the flu or a cold in a year and 2 months since I've been taking CBD.
Wow.
But again, that could just be a coincidence.
Coincidence? Yeah. And you, in your book and your studies, you talked about the endocannabinoid system. And I remember you one time said very simply, here and here, right? Could you just go into the receptors just a little bit so people understand why?
Yeah, our Raphael McCullum, who is a scientist and doctor in Israel at the Hebrew University. He's known as the father of cannabis research. And he's the one who discovered that our body has endogenous cannabinoids. In other words, our body creates CBD. With that knowledge, he also discovered that we have neurons that are attracted to CBD, and we have receptors. And so we have CB1 receptors in our brain and CB2 receptors in our body. CB1 obviously are really in charge of helping us with our, just feeling well, cognitively, so that we sleep well, so that we can think well and think of words like cognitively and be able to say them and remember what they are. And then the CB2 is everything else, like our, just the pain and inflammation to our immune system and those kinds of things. And so between those two, they're connected to our endocannabinoid system, which is named after endogenous cannabinoids. So our body has something called an endocannabinoid system that regulates all of those systems. It helps brings us to homeostasis. Right. Homeostasis means we're in balance. And so we need CBD. It's not like we take it only when we're sick. No, our body needs it whether we're well, or whether we have a pain or discomfort, or we have anxiety or depression. It's just something our body requires, just like vitamins. Our body, it's like a vitamin. And so just think of it like that. Because people ask me all the time, do I need, after it fixes me, do I, or, you know, we can't say it fixes it. Just say, somebody says, after it fixes me, do I need to continue taking it? Yes, because our body needs it. Your body needs food. Your body needs water. Your body needs CBD. And so it is a dietary supplement that you need to be on a regular basis if it's going to maintain your overall health and overall wellness. And so, yes, you should continue to take it. Broccoli has CBD, kale has CBD, but it's not enough to bring us to homeostasis with all of our systems. We need to add a dietary supplement because we don't make as much as we used to. We don't ingest it like we used to. It used to be fed to farm animals, which we used to eat on a regular basis. But in 1930, when they stopped, when hemp became illegal, they stopped feeding it to farm animals. So we weren't ingesting it in that way either. And so, again, it's something we need. It's not in our environment like it used to be. And you need to supplement your intake of CBD.
Right. And in 2016 and 18, in the Farm Bill, it legalized hemp again. So everything is legal. And thank God. And Vaseo's is Plant to Package USA. So, and it's industrial hemp, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you can get tested. And we've had people tested. And it's THC free. So you don't have to worry about that.
Absolutely. So, yep. Yeah. They, as a matter of fact, they guarantee it to be THC free. And I've had people. I'm sorry, I'm messing with my camera. I was trying to show you the rest of my thing there, but I can't. I was trying to. I thought I could show, but I was trying to show you something just really quick. Just to show you that system, because I know I mentioned it, but I just want people to see it. So this is that system I was talking about, and that is that this is a brand partner, right? And then right over here is Overcome Nation, and then we have Vaseo, which is the fulfillment center. This thing right here, I really wanted to just mention really quick, is this retention. Because of this business school, this is unlike any other network marketing business, in that the Overcome Nation provides this training that keeps people in your downline, that keeps people in Overcome Nation because it's so strong. There's almost like it's almost like the big seller as opposed to Vaseo and the products, even though that is a really big seller, is now for me is Overcome Nation. Right. You know, it seems really strange. I'm talking about how great Vaseo's products are, how great the leadership is, how great the products are. We have an endocannabinoid system that really needs this stuff. And so we are just at the beginning stages, and it's just going to get bigger and stronger. We're very early in this boom market. Hardly anybody knows about Vaseo, and not enough people know about CBD. So we're very early. So I'm just telling you that as we begin to educate you and you begin to learn in Overcome Nation, you are going to love this company, and being with us. A lot of reason is because of this Overcome Nation and everything that we're going to learn there. So I'm sorry that I did that in the middle of our talk, but I just I felt like I talked about it, but didn't really show anybody what I was talking about.
It's very important because how much is the cost for Overcome Nation again?
Free.
What was that again?
It's free. It's free.
It's free, and at 3 nights a week, and we're being taught by millionaires who have gone through the system, and they mentor us, and you have them on speed dial. I mean, I think that's amazing.
That's on my phone. Yeah. I mean, how many companies, this size, they have like 4,000 or 5,000 people that are brand partners with Vaseo, which is still small, right? It's still, don't let that number scare you. We're talking globally. We're not talking just like in, United States. And globally, there's only 4,000 people. So there's a lot of room for everybody. We have a long ways to go, and we're just the beginning stages. By 2022, it's supposed to be something like I don't know. It's a lot, like trillions of dollars. We're right now only at the millions of dollars. We still have a lot of room to grow, but this is free. You can join all of us. We all seemingly love each other. I've yet to meet somebody in Overcome Nation that I don't care for.
Absolutely.
And I'm a cop. There's a lot of people I don't care for.
Hands up, don't shoot. But yeah, and it's just like Dick, we started talking about your children, and I'm a retired educator, and in dovetailing on that, if your kids were going to go out to get a job, right? You'd say to them, look at the leadership in the company, right? Yep. And so our leadership Dallin Larson has built not one, $2 billion companies. Came out of retirement to build this one, right?
Yep.
And we've already talked about Rick. And what else would you look for? You would look for, are they stable? Are we debt free, Andy?
Yeah, we're debt free. That's pretty stable.
12 countries,
Yeah, 12
debt-free.
countries, offices globally, distribution, center,
All right.
two
And
different websites, an app on the phone that works.
right.
They came out with a new video I just saw on sleep, which I think is fantastic. I don't know if you saw that video yet, but it's really cool.
And it's also on sale now. It's reduced price.
Yep.
It just came out. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you were getting 2 or 3 nights of sleep, 2 or 3 hours of sleep, and now you have 6 hours, right?
Yeah, it's glorious.
You're right.
I lied to myself for 30 years that I didn't eat sleep. What an idiot.
No. And then, the products are all in on billion-dollar niches, and they don't cannibalize each other. And
they're partnering products. I don't know how they did it, but CBD seems to really support all the other products and enhances them and makes them even better.
Right.
You can take them by themselves and they'd be great. But again, CBD just seems to really kick them into high gear.
Right.
The V3, the V Slim. I've lost 25 to 30 pounds.
There you go.
I'm half the man I used to be. And the Core Complete is an amazing, a package of vitamins that I take on an empty stomach. Have you ever heard of anybody taking vitamins on an empty stomach that didn't vomit? No, you can take Core Complete. You can take you can take Core Complete and on an empty stomach. I do every day, and some people might not be able to, but I don't know anybody yet. But I take it, and that is my nutrition for breakfast. That's what I take for breakfast.
For breakfast. And Tracy Gibbs, who's our formulator, actually answered an email to me. And I had asked him about athletes because I work with some athletes. And he said not as a directive, but he said he usually starts them on Core Complete with Renew. Mm-hmm. And they're doing that and getting just fantastic results. And
I was talking to Daniel Piku, again, a founder who's talking to me, who I'm nobody.
Right.
When I talked to him for the very first time, the one interesting thing, I'm not sure if you know this, but I met him in Corona, and I go, "Hey, my name's Andy," and he goes, "I know you," and I go, "How can you?" I'd only been in the company for like a couple of weeks at the time, and he goes, "Wait a minute, did you write a book?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Your book's on my desk." I just thought that was so great. Anyway, he was the founder. And what he was telling me, I'm not sure why I told you that story. But anyway, he told me that Renew and CBD oil for horses has been showing some very promising results with some horses that have some pain and discomfort and anxiety. Right. And so he says those two things together. We give it to dogs. Dogs do really well on CBD oil and Renew. And these same products can be given to animals as your pets, dogs and cats and horses.
Right. And you know all about that. I have a little Shih Tzu. He's right here near me, and I give him just a little bit to help him with his walking. And your book's name is up on the screen, CBD, The Gateway to Wellness, right?
That's the subtitle, but that's okay.
That's right. And I go into gateway as we wrap up here. Why is it a gateway?
Yeah, well, the title is Today's CBD and Wellness, and that wellness is an added part. Right? The first book was just about CBD oil. The wellness, that gateway, is an important aspect. I think that if you're going to be smart about your wellness, that the CBD will get you started. Right. It will reduce some of that pain. It will allow you to sleep a little bit better, maybe a lot better. It will begin to help you be clearer in your mind and your thoughts. And that's just the beginning. That was great, right? I thought, wow, if I can feel this good, how good could I possibly feel if I go back to getting more exercise, if I begin to eat better, if I begin to take some of these other supplements that Viseo offers? Is it possible that I could reverse the clock even further? And the answer is yes. I found that CBD was just the beginning for me, and I thought at first I thought that was the end. That was the end. I thought, oh, I just feel great. And I go, wait a minute. I go, no, I'm going to see what else I can do. And I was able. Prior to taking CBD, I could barely lift a water bottle with my left hand, a 16-ounce water bottle. It hurt so badly. That sounds really stupid now today, because today I can lift a 55-pound dumbbell over my head in both hands in the shoulder press. I can I can do push-ups again. I can throw my kids up in the pool into the water. I can play hockey again. I can play lacrosse
Right.
with my 13-year-old in the
Right.
front. So that wasn't until I went beyond the CBD. The CBD
Right.
got me started, but the path of wellness is going to be there for you if you take advantage of it. And so I believe that CBD is the gateway to wellness.
And you're modeling it, and that's a great way to end this, because just like Rick says, let action be your coach. You let action be your coach. And Andy, I can't thank you. I'm deeply humble and deeply grateful to you. I really am.
I'm grateful that you use StreamYard and not a phone.
I've had horrible stories with the phone, but and you introduced me to this, so thank you. Yeah, thank you. I wish you the best, and God bless you. And the final note, I know we've done that. I'm identifying with Ray, your daughter, because she's the oldest and has all those boys. I was the youngest with older brothers, and she's beautiful on the inside out. But tell her, stay the course. She'll be fine.
Yeah, she's actually listening. She's on the other side of the couch.
I know. I was the youngest, but she's beautiful on the inside out, and she'll handle anything.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you so much, and I'll see you. I'll see you soon on the web. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
Thank you. God bless.
Bye bye. God bless you.